Hello. It's been a while since we had an update. First off, there's a rip kit on the yellow car. But the main theme here today is everything's broken. I've noticed my fuel economy was dropping a little bit on the trip computer, and I've traced it back to this caliper is getting a little sticky. You know, sometimes it's in a better mood than others, but in stop and go traffic as it heats up, you know, this thing is starting to freeze up on me. So I've got a new rebuilt caliper coming in for that. I've got a seeping hydraulic line that goes between the master and the slave cylinder. So I've got a new one of those, and I have a new master and slave cylinder coming in. And so then I was going to drive the wagon around, but then it started acting a little weird. And I don't know if I ever pointed this out, but I've got here, I'll get a better clip here. So when I first got this car running, I had a lot of stuff that just broke out of the blue. And one of those things was this line that goes on the fuel pressure regulator. And that's the line that is way down there, lives near the steering rack. Then that line goes all the way back to the tank. I think the rollover valve. So I just ran this stupid little hose just to get the car running. And then, you know, I just used a little brake booster coupling there and brought that over there, and the damn thing worked for 10,000 miles. So that hose finally broke. So when I had first done it, I did grab the replacement part from the junkyard. So today I'm gonna, you know, go ahead and just get this fixed properly. Now the proper way to do this would be that you replace that. The hose goes on, it's a little vacuum line. It comes up and there's a metal line that comes up behind the engine. It's a little, you know, it's metal. And then that just goes in there. So if I can't get anything that fits the metal line, it's perfectly fine. Just, it has to be, this has to have a vacuum connection over here. So basically just make sure the vacuum gets where it needs to go, and use materials that don't set on fire, melt, or shrink with heat. Yeah, but if you're gonna do any crackhead fixes, I call this my crack pipe, just know what you're doing. Know what you're getting into. All right, so here was my old little T pipe, except it's like an F pipe. It's supposed to have two, you know, an extra little post that comes off. So here's my replacement going on there. Zoom in. So see that one on the right, that's the one that was broken off. And then that leads back there to that pressure regulator or damper or whatever it is. So I got that run, and then rather than going up to the pipe, there's a pipe that runs, it's behind the heat shield and stuff. We're just gonna take the same old routing. I'm gonna couple another line over just to test it, make sure it works. But basically we're just gonna follow the same old line. Then come here. So from there, it's gonna come back up. That way we keep the spirit of it being a crack pipe. And then it'll work, and it won't sputter after I get gas and stuff. Through the power of doing things off camera, here we are. So let me show you that down there. So that's all hooked up. Again, see, so there's the little regulator. And that vacuum tube is a little funny because it goes from a bigger diameter to a smaller one. So I couldn't just patch in something that I had. So I took that off, put it on that little junction, and then pushed it back on there. It's not all the way on there, but I can't pull it back off. So that ought to be just fine. And what the fuck is this? Oh yeah. That's a little remnant. So just ignore that. That little tube there is what I originally was going to stick on there. And then that just connects up to that other tube that's down there. So that tube there is the hard line I had laying around. That runs up in the same kind of crackhead manner that the old one did. So, you know, I got multiple lines and multiple little elbows here. So it's still a crackhead fix, which I like. I like the crackhead, you know, the crackhead look that this car's got. But it'll work a lot better, and it's not gonna shrink and deteriorate like the other one did. Because the old one lasted like 7,000 miles. This one should last at least that long. This is not the place to do things right. Over there is the place to do things right. Over here, we just do what I need to do to make it continue driving. So I took it out for a spin. It's not stumbling at all anymore. So that's it for the evap codes now. And yeah, we'll see what else she can come up with. All right, that's it for now. Thanks all.